This week on Learn with Samita, it's all about fashion and nature, specifically fashion and flowers. From ancient times to modern runways, flowers have made inroads into fashion, symbolizing everything from love to rebellion. I love to be connected with nature 24/7, with plants, flowers, animals. When I am working from home, when I am watching Netflix with a cup of tea or coffee or even a glass of wine. And yes, even when I am sleeping, why not? So I did my research and stumbled upon this beautiful website called Ulivary.com. It had beautiful loungewear, pajama sets, kimonos, robes with floral prints, tropical themes, and even cheetahs and leopards. So I decided to go ahead and unleash my wild side. I ordered a hot and happening robe for myself. The parcel has arrived. It looks promising. Sturdy bubble wrap, branded on the outside. So that's the robe. Definitely high quality. Soft plush fabric, quality crafting, printed on both sides. Perfect as loungewear or even as a Mother's Day gift. And if not Mother's Day, this works very well for birthdays, anniversaries, or even Christmas in July. This robe is $199. It's quality, not trash. But you know what? There's a good news. If you use coupon code Samita, you get 20% off on the original price. Flowers have symbolic meanings. Red roses symbolize romance. Pink roses signify grace. And yellow roses are symbols of friendship. And let's not forget the innocence and purity of white roses. The orchid embodies love, grace, strength, beauty, and femininity. Flowers stimulate senses of touch, sight, and smell. Flowers encourage reminiscing, can trigger memories, and reduce levels of stress and anxiety. Flower arranging is recommended for those with dementia or Alzheimer's disease. The history of flower fashion goes as far back as that of ancient Egypt. The blue lotus or the blue lily was the flower of ancient Egypt. It is seen abundantly on stone altars, pillars, and other parts of ancient Egyptian temples. Ancient Greeks and Romans adorned themselves with fresh flowers, believing flowers brought good luck and warded off negativity. The influence of flower fashion spread far and wide, from the Silk Road to European courts. Peony as a flower symbolizes good luck, wealth, and prosperity. Silk fabric printed with peonies traveled along the trade route, and chintz fabric from India captivated European elite with its brightly colored floral motifs. The word chintz originates from a Hindi word, cheat, which typically means spotted or speckled. The chintz was a hand-painted, printed, glazed or stained calico fabric that originated in Golconda, now Hyderabad, in 16th century. This kind of fabric was introduced to Europe when Vasco da Gama went back to Portugal in 1498. It has floral motifs along with others hand-printed or painted on a plain background. The Ottoman Empire in present-day Turkey had a vital role to play in the development of flower fashion with its tulip era from 1520 to about 1730. Floral lace was used to decorate clothing and furnishings in Europe from the Middle Ages. The First Nations or indigenous people use floral motifs on their clothing and accessories. For instance, the Ojibwe people of Canada are famous for their incredible floral beadwork. The work of William Morris brought the sunflower to limelight. This bright and beautiful flower was being printed on everything from tiles to wallpaper to fabric and became a huge trend. Twentieth century flower designs featured in Liberty prints. And then we can also talk about the rise of the Hawaiian shirt. In the 1950s, Christian Dior's new look silhouette was in the shape of a flower. And many of these dresses had flowers printed or embroidered on them. In the 60s and 70s, flower power came into force. Being a flower child or a hippie involved taking a political stand. For instance, opposition to the war in Vietnam. Spanish fashion house Loewe has elevated the flower anthurium into a fashion statement.
Hi, I'm Joanne. I am an Ikebana artist. So here's my work, and I'm exhibiting under the Melbourne Ikebana Festival. And as you can see, Ikebana is slightly different from the other work that you might see over the other Western styles. Usually we have a very asymmetrical design, and that's we call being a balance. We also have a lot of space that we create, and there's usually a big movement of, you can tell, and so I have movement going around here. I like using bamboo because that's part of what I like of bamboo being a very renewable and a very good material that you can reuse. Anyway, so if any of you want to see more Ikebana works, please pop in at the Ikebana Festival on the 7th and 8th of September at Abbotsford Convent. My dress is just actually just a jacket. It's not exactly a dress. It's the Hari jacket. So it's not exactly, it's meant to be just a jacket. So you wear it over the kimono. So it do have the big sleeve. Has some floral pattern, comfortable, and because it's flowers and I like flowers, so that became one of my favorite pieces that I wear all the time. Got to wear it today at the shows.
Out of it. So you can create circles. Or you can go single ones as well. Like what we've done here. And then you can create corsages out of them. I use them a lot for weddings. Right? And you can create this. One time I didn't buy any Christmas tree, so I just grabbed some foliages from the outside, created into a conical shape, and added this as my display. So even these ones, you can create them as ornaments. When you're rushing, so it gives you interest instead of just a plain single straight wire. You can play with them and give them more dynamic swirls in that. You can have a flat one, or you can open it this way. So now you end up with more dimension as well, rather than just flat. So what we've done is, these are the leftovers from what we had up at the stand when we had all these twirls coming down with the worms. So I thought, oh, don't waste it, let's just create a hand type on that one. What I've done here is just crush them all together, just wound it together on top, get the rest coming through. So I just added them here, wired them through, to create that length. So what we're going to do is to create an arrangement. So this is just a flax that I used earlier. So again, so you got all the materials here. Let's get. So the good thing about one flax leaves is you end up with so many strands. Yes, it is. Yeah. So I'll use it as part of my frame, and I'll get it as just to wind them across in between to give me the length that I wanted, to give you the. Can you hold that for me? Just wind it through. And that. Sorry, Kylie, I'm very messy. Chris knows that. I used to demonstrate for Chris and Adrian's Value Fresh Flowers in Buchanan. And the mess we get into, and the mess after we get to pasta pop is even worse. So one thing is, when you're doing a design like this in a hand tie, make sure that everything is spiraled to the back. You don't want to crush the stem, so when you're going through, make sure it's going to the same roundabout as you go. Obviously, when you go to a roundabout and one car goes the other, you can have a problem. But if you do that spiraling, you can have a very, very thin waist, like an hourglass, and it's easier to hold. Again, just feed them through. And this is the beauty of the wire, because the wire holds the flower intact, right, as you go through. Makes life easier, because you don't need a lot of foliages, fillers to go in that. On the top, never forget the top. One recess inside. What else do we have? Any more flowers? I can't see where I'm going, so just feeding through. Sometimes when you're doing it, you can feel on your hand where the gaps are and where they're supposed to go. And again, recessing different areas so that your flowers don't fight for your attention. Like so. Go through that.
With floral headbands coming back in fashion and designers pushing the boundaries of floral expression, the possibilities are endless. It can be a symbol of love or rebellion, or simply a celebration of nature's beauty. The unbreakable bond between flowers and fashion continues to inspire us. Join us next time for another fashion and lifestyle story. And do not forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Till next time, this is Samita signing off. Keep blooming.